Hey, what's up everybody, it's Chance here. I wanted to make this video because there are some people out there that have, heard my music, asked me how I'm doing, and a lot of times they would ask me one common question. What was it that inspired me to do music? And at first, when I first got asked this question many years ago, I didn't know how to answer it, because I didn't really have an answer. But over the years, I've kind of figured it out. And if I get choked up during this, I do apologize, because this is a very heavy subject for me. The band and person that inspired me to start doing music was the late and great Chester Bennington and his band Linkin Park. And I know what a lot of people have already said, well, why do you put Linkin Park on a pedestal? They're just a band. Yes, that may be true. They may just be a band to you. But to people like myself, who have gone through so much bad stuff in life, they're a beacon of hope. They're a beacon of light. They understand subjects more deeper than what people can imagine. And when Chester sang, his voice not only was the voice of an angel and the scream of a demon, but his voice transcended reality itself. His voice was the voice of a generation. And I can already tell you right now, I'm already going to get laughed at in the comments, and it is what it is. But for those of you that want to laugh, I say this. Until you've been in my shoes and gone through what I've gone through, you don't really have that right to laugh at me. Or at anybody that has gone through hardships in life. Because I've gone through everything from losing my grandparents in 2001, whom I was very, very, very close to. I had lost several friends to various things, ranging from a drowning accident in 2009 with my best friend David, and then in 2016 with my friend Zach being killed at his family's restaurant. Chester's music really helped me get through a lot of what I dealt with. When I felt like the end was near for me, was the only option. Just a few years ago, my friends sent me a song that ultimately saved my life. And that song was the song called One More Light. That song saved my life and helped me on so many levels. Because during that time period when I was in that very dark place, where I was not in a good mindset, I was a total mess. I felt like my options had run out. And that song really made me realize that I have something worth fighting for. And that I do have people that love and care about me. And their music, Linkin Park's music, continues to inspire me To this day, I still look up to Chester as one of my heroes, as one of my role models. Because like I said, he is the one that inspired me to do music. You know, going to events and seeing Linkin Park live and just watching their music videos and watching their interviews and seeing the behind the scenes videos with the LPTV, you know, that band is the band that saved my life. You know, they taught me through their videos and through their live shows and through their albums and through their interviews that what matters more than anything in this world is being a good person. What matters more than anything else on this earth is to help those that can't necessarily help themselves. It's more rewarding to help those that need it. It's more rewarding to fight for your life and to live than it is to give up and throw it all away. Because I'm not going to lie. About 5.5 years ago now, I was pushed so far to the edge by these trolls. I was pushed into such a far dark place. So 2 separate times. Because I couldn't handle it. I wasn't able to take the pain anymore. And I felt like the world would have been better off without me. That's when it hit me that I need to live. And I was laying in my bed and I was just a mess. I was destroyed. I didn't understand why I was still here. I didn't understand why I lived. I didn't understand what my purpose was. And that day, on that third day of me laying in my bed, I had gotten one of the most important phone calls in my life. And that call was from a couple people. One of those calls being from my 2 childhood best friends who are my brother and sister, who I consider family. I had told them about what was going on. And for about an hour and a half, I sat there and I spoke with them. And then a couple hours later, into our conversation, because we had talked in a total for like 4 or 5 hours. Well, during that conversation, I had gotten another phone call. And it turned out to be my best friend, Matt. And let me tell you, that call was the most important call that I had ever taken in my life. Because me and Matt sat down and we talked, and he made me realize that life is worth living. And that's why every day, despite the haters, despite the trolls, I still fight the good fight. Even though there are times where I want to give up and throw in the towel, I don't, because I know that there's people out there that are on the edge every day because of trolling and all kinds of stuff. I know that there's some kid in the back of his classroom who feels alone. Doesn't think that anybody cares about him. There's some girl amongst her friends that feels like an outcast, that feels like she doesn't belong. That feels like she's the odd one out. That goes from school to work to home and feeling unappreciated. Feeling like that she don't matter. That nothing she does matters. There's some poor young kid out there, even now, bawling their eyes out in a fucking gutter, who doesn't know what to do because they're so lost. Because of their family life at home, they ended up becoming a drug addict, just to escape the pain of what's going on at home. And to those people I say this: you are never alone. I might not be a drug addict, but I do know what it's like to feel like you're on the edge. I do know what it feels like to feel like you're alone in this world. To feel like nobody cares. And to those people I say this: here on my channel you have a home. Here on my channel you have a place where you can rest your head and rest easy and put your burdens down. Because I once too carried those exact same burdens that you guys carry now. And then in 2017, it got worse and worse and worse to where it still goes on to this day. But now I don't let it affect me, because I see that those people that are doing that, they're just angry at themselves. They have something wrong internally with themselves. And if anybody out there is doing the same thing to you, just know that what they're doing to you is not your fault. You did not do anything. And that there is something internally wrong with them. There is something spiritually and mentally wrong with them. And just know that there is help out there. There are people out there that care. Even though it might not seem like it. I know it doesn't feel like it a lot of times. But just know that there are people out there that actually do care. And what I'm going to do is, after you guys watch this video, I want you guys to go to the video link in the description and watch one of the videos that's helped me along my journey and my recovery from being a victim. And to those of you that do watch it, I hope that that video helps you the same way that it helped me. And just know that there is help out there. And just know that you, yeah, I'm talking to you watching right now. All of you watching. You are not alone. And you will never be alone.